I mean, it is just fascinating to hear. It sounds like a person who was just starting to figure out how complicated work-life balance can be.
A lot of life in those statements.
That's what so what do we take away from that? And most importantly, because he can live his life however he sees fit,
Sure.
obviously, how, if at all, do you see what he just said impacting his ability to be all in on a football season?
Zero. It will not affect it even a little bit when he hits the field. Listen, I appreciate him being honest and open about his life and all the things that are coming in and being involved, whatever that is, right? That was a long statement. But the reality is he understands when he hits the field how to take this football team to the level he wants to take it to. The distractions that people talk about, film study, will he be locked in when he's on the field? When he walks on the field, man, all that stuff goes away. He is so dialed in. He understands what needs to happen. The preparation part, he can become more efficient with that if he feels like that's necessary. I'm doubting any of that applies at all to him. He will be just fine. This football team will be just fine. It's just something that happened during training camp, and he had to address it.
Dan, you made an interesting point this morning as we were talking before we came on the air, which is we're always trying to figure out which thing is going to take down Brady. And none of them ever have before.
We've given up on that.
You don't think it's going to be this one either?
No, I don't think it. Look, I mean, at some point, he won't be able to play quarterback in the NFL anymore. But he led the league in passing yards last year. I don't think now is that point. And look, I think we hear him on the podcast talking about whatever's going on. He's working some stuff out. It seems like that's an outlet for him, right, to deal with whatever he's dealing with. But when you talk to people around that team and in that building, he's the same guy. Like he has been the same since he got there. And since he got back from whatever he was doing in training camp, locked in on the field, locked in the meetings, just like being the Tom Brady that they know and need him to be. So I'm with Jeff. I don't think it's going to be if they play badly, if he plays badly, I don't think it's going to be because of this.
Well, I don't know that there's anyone who went head-to-head against Tom Brady more frequently in their career than you, Bart, playing both in Baltimore. But he was on the offensive side. I mean, you're going directly up against him in your years in Baltimore, all those great games, your years in the Jets in the same division. I mean, what is your sense of this? Brady, what makes him great is his ability to be completely focused and locked in. Are you at all concerned about that?
Not at all, because to Jeff's point and to Dan's point, athletes, the building is our sanctuary.
That's right.
We get in there, nothing matters but football. What's the task at hand? Guys have dealt with all kind of issues outside of the building. But when you come in that building, you're locked in. You're around your brothers. You have all the support you need to be the best version of yourself. My biggest concern is that offensive line. The pressure. And also the fact that I believe that the New Orleans Saints are the better team within the division. And that's going to be what really upsets him. Can him and Todd Bowles come together, be a cohesive unit? It's a lot of moving parts in that regard. If anything takes him down, it's going to be a football issue. It's not going to be a non-football issue.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to say that Bart just said, it really struck with me. The uniqueness of a locker room and the ability to block out all the other factors in your life. It's like no other. It's not like other jobs where your phone's ringing or somebody. I mean, when I tell you it is laser focused and there are true blinders on, when you walk into an NFL locker room, that is the field. Yeah. So to Bart's point, I think that goes well said. When you walk in, there is no more. Everybody's talking about the same mission or the same task at hand for whatever that day is in practice and that team that you're looking for Sunday and Monday. It just, for whatever reason, it totally takes you in a different mindset.
Right, and so it's easy to understand why the balance in work-life balance becomes more complicated and why he might not have felt he could manage it. Now, obviously, he's in.
We've all done.
Bart just brought up the offensive line.
Yeah.
That's the obvious. That's the most obvious pressing question. You're an offensive line expert. How worried are we?
Concerned, not worried. Left guard for me is going to be an issue. Their center will be just fine. Mason at right guard will be just fine. The left guard, they will have some issues trying to figure this out. But here's the deal. You got a guy's 45 years old. He's played, 20 plus years in the NFL. He understands how to manipulate the pocket and how to get help where he needs it. If he feels he needs it, it will not be an issue that will cost him this season.
All right, so that's the Brady of it all. Buccaneers open with a monster game Sunday night against the Dallas Cowboys. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.